मामा को ये सब कभी पसंद नहीं था।
क्या पसंद नहीं?
ये ड्रामा, नाक में रुई, पैर बंधे हुए हैं, नो लॉजिक।
2 दिन से उसका फोन नहीं उठाया इसने, रात भर फोन करती रही तुम्हें, फिर कहाँ गया था तुम्हारा लॉजिक?
Hi, this is Pratiksha Mishra and you're listening to Do I Like It? A Quint production where we review anything and everything under the sun. And this episode I'm going to tell you, do I like Goodbye?
In life, things happen. And even if nothing's happening, that's still something happening, right? So on this show, we talk about things that happen. We get an esteemed panel of highly jobless people to answer the million-dollar question. Do I like it?
I'm going to be honest with you right off the bat. Till like the last half an hour of the film, I was not sure कि Nakul कौन है और Angad कौन है. I asked everybody around me and others were actually equally confused. I think about how the film's idea is something very deep, right? It's something that is relatable to a lot of people. Neena Gupta's character, Gayatri, passes away and her children and her husband and everyone around her has to essentially deal with that fact. But that's the thing. I remember that the first film I watched that truly got me emotionally when it comes to death as such was Tuesdays with Morrie, and I cried throughout the film. With the entire film I cried. But with Goodbye it got me like 2 times, I think. Maybe three if I'm being generous. But before I go deeper into this, I need to tell you that you can check out all episodes of our series and all other podcasts by The Quint on our website and wherever else you get your podcast fix. To truly understand whether I liked Goodbye or not, मुझे ये decide करना था पहले कि was I emotional because the film was great or was I emotional because of the idea of anything ever happening to my mother? Turns out it was the second one. It was the second one. That's what scared me. So I've already given you some context, but basically what happens is that Neena Gupta's character Gayatri has passed away and now her husband Harish is left with their little dog. What now happens is that all her kids from across the globe, the ones that weren't already here, come to the family house for her funeral rites. So what we notice now is that the main conflict is between Harish and their daughter Tara, played by Rashmika Mandanna. They are clearly 2 very different people. He wants to do all the Riti Rivaj properly so that Gayatri ki Atma ko mukti mile. And Tara is like, all of this is just, I don't know what you all are doing. I don't know why you're doing it. I don't even think you know why you're doing it. So it's a huge conflict that goes on. Tara, on her own, is already dealing with a lot of guilt because she missed her mother's last call. But she also believes that, buddy, I was just living my life, How was I supposed to know that this was going to happen? This is not a thought that someone always has. It's not a consequence that you expect every day. Now the thing is that this concept of Ma or like mother in Bollywood has been used so long, to get emotions out of people. ऐसा निरूपा रॉय के टाइम से लेकर Mother India to like Shahrukh Khan's character running to his mother who जिनको एहसास हुआ है कि her son has come back in a helicopter. It's always been something that Bollywood has used, and so some of the scenes in the film seem kind of exploitative of your grief as such. In the sense that it feels exploitative in the sense that you're already feeling sad because the scenes are sad. But if the film pushes you, ki nahi, feel more, feel like this is the angle that you have to feel in, it kind of gets frustrating and then you don't feel the grief that you're supposed to. And that's what happens with Goodbye. This film is honestly like if Bachchan 2.0 had a kid with Deepika Padukone starrer Piku. This is it. This is the film that it would make. When it comes to the funeral concept of it all, it actually captures things very accurately. There's this one uncle who is just interested in everything. Like he knows it all, He is the Hermione Granger of this here funeral that is happening. Then there are Gayatri's friends who are heartbroken at her demise, but not itna ki they'll sit on the floor, There's this one discussion that they're having about what to name the WhatsApp group now. And one of the suggestions is Gone Gayatri Gone. There's another one about supporting Harish. And they really don't give up. And they're actually hilarious. Like if there was a film about these women dealing with this situation, I would be much more inclined to watch that. On that note, do I like how Goodbye is structured? The film's comedy scenes actually land a lot for such a serious subject. So I guess that's a merit. Like, that's a good thing. I don't think that's easy to do and they still do it. But towards the end also, I found myself asking कि point कौन सा है? Not even कि point क्या है? Point है कौन सा? इतने सारे points are going on and the film doesn't seem to make like a strong statement about anything. It's that whole, okay, family, parivar have to live साथ साथ, हम साथ साथ हैं, compromise and everything. But even that comes so fast कि you're like, oh, what, आचार कहाँ से क्या, you know? That's how I was left feeling. If we talk about performances, Amitabh Bachchan and Neena Gupta are flawless. Both their characters are amazing. Neena Gupta is shown as this free-spirited, adorable, understanding mother and she plays it so well. And Amitabh Bachchan is this sad, brooding man who has lost his wife and is also just mad at all his children for the randomest of things, which, well, he's lashing out. And he does all of that pretty well too. And even in this one scene where he is trying to talk to Gayatri, it's just so well acted out that even though the scene seemed too drawn out, it was effective. Rashmika Mandanna, who's making her Bollywood debut with Goodbye, is very good in the serious scenes. But जब film का tone shift होता है, तो she doesn't like hold on to it anymore. I like her though. Like her performances in Pushpa and Sita Ramam, I really liked them. So I'm holding out hope for her. You know, like she'll get it. She'll catch the groove. The one person who impressed me a lot was Eli Avram as Daisy. She plays Tara's brother Karan's wife. Wow, that was my real chacha ki beti ki, saheli ki, dost ki, bhai ki, behen ki moment. Anyway, her character Daisy is written atrociously. She is the ditziest foreigner. Okay, she has barely anything else beyond that, but she performs it so well. And कोई भी मतलब humor वाला जो scene हो ना, it works because of how well Ellie has kind of absorbed this role. Pavel Gulati plays Tara's brother Karan, and he is honestly that nightmare child from Bagban. Like, he is the problem child. He is the issue here. मम्मी का funeral चल रहा है and he's on a conference call. He has crossed the limit. The line has been crossed by him. The line is a dot to him at this point. And so when they establish a character like him, his 180 happens so quickly towards the end that you're not convinced. It's just not convincing. Like Karan's 180, director and writer Vikas Bahl's insistence on pushing things too far also makes the film less convincing. Goodbye is Vikas Bahl's second film, I think, after the Me Too allegations were leveled against him. He obviously denied those allegations, but I think it's something to mention. But the film suffers the same fate as Super 30, the film he made before this. It's just that the points are driven so hard home that it almost seems so exposition-y that I can't grab onto them. I can't be like, oh, this point makes sense, because it's just been like thrown onto my plate in dollops. Also, some of the dialogues written for women are so weird in the sense that there's this one couple who's trying to conceive, and the way the son tells his father this, I was looking at the woman, I was like, are you sure you want to have this child with this man? You know, it's something like there's still time. There's still time to reconsider this. Overall, do I like Goodbye? I feel like it could have benefited from a more concise script and maybe like characters with more like better fleshed out characters, because the concepts of death and grief have been dealt very well in films like Ram Prasad Ki Tervi or Paglet, or even shows like Panchayat, while retaining their humor. So it's possible to do both, but it doesn't happen here. Everything just falls into place too conveniently, you know, like हम यहाँ manifest कर करके थक जाते हैं, but in Goodbye world everything is happening for people. Goodbye is a good concept, but it is let down because of its execution. And honestly, the best things about it are Amitabh Bachchan and Neena Gupta's performances. But then, if that's what you're looking for, there are so many other films to watch. Do I Like It is a Quint original podcast hosted by Pratiksha, executive produced by Shelly Walia and Ritu Kapoor, produced and edited by Anjali Palod, written by me, Pratiksha, again, with theme music from BMG Production. Thank you for listening.
You were listening to the Quint's podcast.